us about the project you're working on now.
So it's been a year in the making, and it's a pass-approved testing company. We are Talent Health Labs. Our URL is talenthealthlabs.com. And what we do is the full talent panel. We also do individual STI testing. We also do wellness testing. We are medically supervised. My medical supervisor is in Las Vegas, and he is amazing. He's been working with the industry for the past 6 years. So very industry friendly, which was extremely important to me. The way that we work is a little bit different than the other companies. We are mostly online. So when someone wants to get tested through us, you can't just walk in to our lab. You have to go online and order your testing first. One of the great things about that is in this day and age, we're all connected to our phones. So it's easy to do. And on top of that, when you go into the draw station, they don't know what you do for a living. As far as they know, you are a plumber or a teacher or anything but an adult film star. And that's because we have it set up so that Talent Health Labs does not show up on your paperwork. And that's for your privacy as well as your safety. So I'm really excited about that. We also don't charge talent shipping or draw fees. So it doesn't matter if you live in a hub or not. You still get the same quality testing at one single price. So especially for people living in places like New Jersey, where a single panel can cost $250 or more, we keep everything at $165. So we're really happy to bring those savings to our talent, especially with the way that, you know, the economy and the adult business has dropped off thanks to the internet. Gotta love you and hate you at the same time. You know, money isn't what it used to be for a lot of people. And the industry is also way more global now. So we need to have access to testing across the United States instead of just in the hubs. We are partnered with a national lab, and we have 2,200 locations plus across the United States. So if you were to order testing, you would order your test, and there is a locator inside our website that tells people where the nearest labs are to them, and they can go to any one of those labs as long as it does not offer only drug testing, because some of the labs only do drug testing. Results are typically available by the end of the next business day. I always warn talent, give yourself an extra day when testing. You should do that regardless of what company you test with, because things can happen, and they do happen. You know, machines can break, FedEx can lose samples, couriers can take samples to the wrong labs. I mean, there's all sorts of things that can go wrong. So if you're waiting to the last minute, don't blame the lab, because that's kind of unfair. You know, you put yourself behind the 8 ball. Now, that said, like I said, typically I'm seeing results within the next business day. Sometimes it carries over to 2 business days. Also remember, in the corporate world, Saturday and Sunday are not considered business days. So if you test on a Friday, there is a chance that your blood work won't be actually run until Monday. Now, that's not the case everywhere, but there's a chance of that. So, like I said, think about giving yourself an extra day so that you don't wind up having to cancel work or move work around.
And what inspired you to do this project?
I kind of lucked into it, but that said, it's become a major labor of love, and it's, for me, about helping talent stay safe. It's also about giving back. I shot my first movie in 1998, so I've seen a lot of changes throughout the years, and I definitely want to be able to help and teach others, because even though our business is sex, girls are coming in younger and younger than they ever have. And let's face it, sex ed in American schools blows chunks. So a lot of the girls getting into the business don't really know that much about their bodies. And I've even met men that have been in the business for a long time that don't know that much about sexual health. So at this point, like I said, it's a labor of love and it's about giving back.
Was there anything specific in the current testing thing that you felt could be changed, better, worse?
You know, because I am connected to PASS, I've learned a lot. And without being connected to PASS, I have absolutely learned a lot. I'm not a doctor, so I can't really give medical advice. I can say that there's been a lot of controversy in the business about undetectable performers. And one thing I want to reassure people is that the HIV 1 and 2 ABAG test, which is standard HIV testing for the performer panel now, there's no way an undetectable performer can beat that test. Meaning, if someone is undetectable, their blood work will come back as positive undetectable. So for the performers out there that have been really worried about that, I just want you to know that that's the reality of that particular test.
For stupid people like myself, what is an undetectable performer?
An undetectable performer is a performer that is positive for HIV. However, they're on their meds, so their viral load has gone way down and they have become what is considered undetectable. Undetectable also, in most cases, means untransmittable. Now, the caveat to that is it takes 1 to 3 days of a performer being off of their meds to become transmittable again. And if that happens, they become even more transmittable than they were before. So it's a really interesting thing. I mean, science tells us now that once a performer becomes, or I shouldn't say performer, once a positive patient becomes undetectable, that they aren't transmittable. But as I stated, with that 1 to 3 day window, if they're off meds, that can be that can be unconcerting, to say the least.
You as a woman and as a performer in this project aside, how comfortable are you working with someone that is HIV positive? Whether the load is high, low?
So when it comes to working with HIV positive performers, I'm not saying that I would completely boycott that if they are undetectable. I don't know. I'm not in a position where I've had to make that judgment call, really. I know what the science says, but I also know how other performers would feel about that. I mean, that's a very difficult situation. It's a hotbed of discussion within the industry. I just don't know how I would react when put in a position where I had to say yes or no to that.
Could you see another performer's perspective of not being comfortable working with the person that's HIV positive, regardless of what their test says?
Well, I come from an era in the business when people were very adamant that it is our bodies, it is our choice. And there wasn't this attitude of inclusion, even to what seems at sometimes dangerous. I feel like everyone should have the right to work. I also feel like everyone has the right to say no. I also feel like everyone has the right to say, I don't want to work with this person because of X, Y, or Z. And I also believe that no one has to justify their choice to say no.